Oh my gosh, you got it?
Yeah, I got a finger in there.
You got a finger in there.
God, this is like a romance novel.
Oh
It's
no.
like Sarah J. Maas describing how
And not even good fingering either.
No, there's a whole fist in there now.
Oh jeez.
There you go.
Oh thanks.
A win is a win.
What a way to start a first episode, huh?
Cheers.
Cheers. These are good.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Premium Korean sweet and spicy puffs.
Perfect.
Oh, is that Gangnam?
Gangnam Style.
Yeah. That's not Gangnam.
No.
That's not how
Yang Yang.
Yangnyeom. Yeah, Yangnyeom. Ugh. Oh, those have a little bit of a kick to them.
That's why it's sweet and spicy.
Oh, more. I can't handle that much spice.
Aw.
I have like more spice in my books than in my food.
She's a baby.
So, what the hell are we supposed to be doing?
You're the one with all the notes.
Oh God, I did bring my notes though, so there's good news there. So let's open. Oh God, who's texting me? Nobody I care about. And by that I mean it's a ad.
Oh, brutal.
Okay, let's see. Oh look, I have notes. Oh, here we go. So I guess the first thing is say hi.
Hello.
Welcome to Tortoise and the Hare Book Club.
That's us.
Woo. I guess the intro is that we just wanted to make a podcast where we talk about the books we've read and chit-chat.
Recording the yap sessions, if you will.
That is correct. So that's the intro. Okay, so if it's the tortoise in the hare, who's the tortoise, who's the hare?
I'm definitely the tortoise.
Why?
I haven't read a book in months. I have had the same book on my nightstand for, oh God, I think I started it before Thanksgiving.
Oh boy.
It's not done yet.
What book?
The Throne of the Fallen.
Oh, you're still reading
I'm
through
still
that?
reading it. I think I have like 100 pages left.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So Throne of the Fallen, there was a reason I felt like it was dropped, or I was dropped in the middle of a story, because I was.
Yeah.
So
And that's on what episode? What are we gonna do for that one? Oh, episode 4. We're gonna talk about book
Kingdom
1.
of the Wicked, which
Yeah.
is where I should have started.
Yeah.
Not Throne of the Fallen.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Happens.
It had a prettier cover, in my defense.
That's fair though.
Yeah.
I think the author had to work her way up to the beautiful covers.
Don't we all?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Sometimes you gotta start small. Well, I'm the hare because I can read a 400-page book in one night if I really want to.
Yes.
My crowning achievement is still reading Kingdom of Ash, the hardback version, which is 1,000 pages. Like, not, like, less than that, not more than that. It's 1,000 pages long. And I read it in 6 hours. Mm-hmm.
Damn. All right.
6 hours. One sitting.
If we were to calculate that out, what is that, like?
It's something.
6 hours. I can't do that much math.
I mean...
we both reached for a calculator.
I mean, yeah. You'd have to do the math for me on that one. But I do remember it being like, I got home from work and then did not stop reading it until I finished. And I think it came out to be about 6 hours, give or take.
That is 2.8 pages per minute.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn, I am definitely the hare.
Yes. There's a contrast here. So it's basically going to be the hare telling us what she's read.
Yeah, sounds about
Because
right.
I have nothing to contribute to this.
That's fair. That is fair. I just realized we never actually said our names. We just said Tortoise and Hare.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just who we are.
I think that's just who we are.
I think we're just Tortoise and Hare.
It describes my personality. I'll get there when I get there.
And I'm a Jackrabbit Bunny Energizer going 24,000 miles a minute.
She's going to be there.
I'm gonna be there whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Can't relate.
Oh, jeez. Well, since this is a book club,
Okay.
we might as well share our top books.
Our books.
So, books we've already read and, like, top 5.
So these are like your comfort books.
Comfort books. Books you would go back and reread if you could, if you had the motivation to do so. Or listen to again, since I know you're more of an audiobook.
That is true. I could technically be the Hare if we were talking about just audiobooks.
Yeah.
Because little rat brain likes to be entertained.
But I think even you said that you will sometimes remember everything and then sometimes not at all.
Not at all. Mostly not at all. I'm here for the vibes and the vibes alone.
Or I'm out here like, well, this one scene in, what was it, Iron Flame? Where they think that's what we were talking about.
It was literally Iron Flame that we were just talking about, yeah.
And I was just like, well, I think the next book is going to be all about this political intrigue because of XYZ tiny little event that happened to happen in Iron Flame.
One line mentioned, she was like, that's going to be it. And I didn't remember it happened.
Whoops. And the thing is, though, I did listen to Iron Flame.
Yeah.
I did not read it. Because I still think Zayden's voice actor is hot. Like,
fair.
Voice-wise.
Yes.
Like, hot voice.
Hot voice is confirmed.
Correct, yeah.
He sounds a lot like that video game streamer that I was obsessed with for a long time.
Oh, okay. So, how about I'll do one, you do one, and we'll go back and forth?
You don't want to just do top 5?
That's what I mean, like...
Okay, yeah. Oh, yes. Go for it. Shoot.
So, already brought the series up. It's probably my number 1 adult fantasy reread I would do. Throne of Glass, the full series.
That checks.
All of my top 5 are going to be series because I couldn't pick, like, one book.
Do they even make off, like, singular shoot books anymore?
Not really.
I didn't think so.
There are some, like, I know people recommend them on, like, Instagram and stuff, but, like, I don't know. I don't know any of them. I haven't read any of them.
I don't know.
So, we're going to go with no.
Okay.
Yeah, so not necessarily number 1. I don't think these are in any particular order, but somewhere in my top 5 exists the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas.
Okay.
For sure.
I feel like that would be pretty high up on your list if I had to as a third party looking in.
It's definitely up there. I think it's probably one of the more interesting, like, fantasy series that turned into romantasy. Because I think she turned it into more of a romantic fantasy book when her other series, ACOTAR, became more popular. So I think that was more of just, like, a happenstance and probably, like, a genre shift.
It didn't start romantic?
I mean, it was, but it was more of, like, a romantic subplot to me. And you've read the first couple books.
I read 1.
You've read 2!
1.5, yes. Because I didn't get all the way through the novellas.
Yeah, but that was the 3rd book I gave you. Yes, you read Crown of Midnight. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
What happened in Crown of Midnight?
Oh my god. And here we go.
This is why I just get to enjoy a story.
Oh shit. Okay. Anyway, no, it was more of like the romance was like a subplot.
Okay.
And I think in the book I just handed you for Heir of Fire even then I would say that the romance is more of a subplot than it is a major plot point.
Okay.
Like there is romance, but
it's not like romance.
Yeah, like
smack
ACOTAR's
you in
like
the face with.
Yeah. Where like ACOTAR, and I think even you can speak more to Crescent City. I think those really are smacky in the face.
Crescent City might be a happy middle ground between the two.
Okay.
Because it is a little bit of a romance, but it's kind of also a side plot. Bryce gets a little bit distracted by her grief. And
fair enough.
Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what's one of your top 5?
So on the point of like comfort book series, ones that you go back to over and over again, the Becca Cooper series from Tamora Pierce.
Okay, what's that about?
So Tamora Pierce has she has a universe she has built similar to SJM.
Okay.
And all of her novels are set in that, and she has several series. But this one is like kind of like a prequel of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's somebody's ancestor, and we've gone back. She's like his 6th-time great-grandfather or great-grandmother.
Crazy.
So like way back, and she's basically a cop kind of thing.
Fun.
So, but she's from the poor area, and she gets to be a cop, and it's about her story from that.
Okay.
So she's like the guardswoman, and it's her story of becoming like a full guardswoman, and then all of the little political intrigue that she gets sucked into.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's really good. And then she has to decide if she wants to fall in love with the king of the thieves,
Ooh.
or if she wants to fall in love with who she actually ends up falling in love with.
Ooh, we love a little romance plot line.
Yeah, and it's well done.
Okay.
I have read that one 5 or 6 times at this point.
Nice. Well, speaking of series we've read 5 or 6 times, Percy Jackson's my next recommendation. I have read the first series probably 5 or 6 times. It's an easy read, so it's nice and it's fun. It's a little fun one.
A little brain break.
A little brain break. Love the Percy Jackson series. The Heroes of Olympus, which follows it, is okay, I guess. Not my favorite, but still a fun one. Little, expansion on the thing. But recently, Rick Riordan, the author, started publishing a continuation to, like, just Percy Jackson's story, where he's trying to get into college.
Aren't we all?
And it's really fun. And it's definitely feels like more of a nod towards the older fans than, like, towards, like a new group of fans or something like that.
It's always fun when you get to grow up with a character.
Yeah. I think it's very close to, like, our version of Harry Potter in my brain. If I had to pick, like, a fantasy that, like, our generation, our age group, like, grew up with, it'd probably be Percy Jackson, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, millennials have Harry Potter.
Yes.
And we get Percy Jackson.
I mean, speak for yourself. I'm a millennial, so...
That's true. You're not...
I was gonna say...
That's true. You get... The fuck? Oh. Okay.
I was gonna say, because my brain immediately went to Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he started at 11, and then the last book, which he's an adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we would have been adults when she finished the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was in elementary school when the last book came out.
Oh.
So, I don't remember that one.
There's an age difference.
Not that big, though.
I know, but
Still, I guess.
significant enough.
Fair enough. But for me, because, like, Percy Jackson starts when he's, like, 12 or 11, something like that. And the book 5 ends when he's 16. But then, no, because the next 5 keep him pretty much 16, 17. No, he goes missing for a year, so maybe he's almost...
Goes missing for a year?
Don't ask questions. So, well, yeah, he ends up being he's 18 in the newest series with him trying to go to college. So
Okay.
There's that. Okay. Next for you.
Go on to your third one. I haven't come up with a second one yet.
And here we go. Okay, my next one I picked out is actually a really new one.
Okay.
Completely new series, not finished yet. I've only read the first 2 books because only the first 2 books are out.
Okay.
It's called the Realms in Peril series by Anne Cottle. The first book is Worthy of Fate, and the second one is Bound by Fate.
Okay.
She is definitely more of an indie author. Like, newer, just out there. It's a dark fantasy romance with some characters that are... In the second book, there's a character that's fully, like, morally black.
Yeah.
There is no gray there.
No.
He is a bad guy. But he loves his woman, and so you fall in love with him a little bit there.
Can he really be bad if he loves his woman?
You know, I mean, the way he murdered her whole family, yeah.
Maybe they deserved it.
They kind of, from what it sounded like, they kind of did, honestly. But it's really good. The author is so nice. She's so nice.
You've met her?
Yeah.
Oh.
I found the book at the book convention I went to back in October. That's how I met her and found out about the book.
Cool.
I went to one of her she was doing a panel on, oh gosh, what was it? Like tropes, I think it was. Like it was some sort of writing panel. Now I probably have it written down somewhere, but I don't remember what it was. But it was like her and 2 other authors, and they were talking about their books and stuff, and like some other writing things. It's the one where we did a like ad lib one based on the male or the character that was like
Mad Libs, like where you fill in nouns, verbs,
yes,
adjectives.
Yes.
Oh my god,
we did one of those, and it was based on fantasy character that was like under your seat, and I pulled Tamlin. I had Tamlin.
I mean, he did have his redemption arc.
Not yet.
I feel like he had his redemption arc.
He's still working on himself. But who isn't, though? So that's fair.
Yes, who is not?
But I got Tamlin, and I said that he had lime green hair. Like, I needed a color, so I picked lime green.
Just waiting for him to melt into slime like Hal does.
Yes. But anyway, that's a complete tangent at this point. They were talking about their books, and all of their books sounded really cool. So once the panel ended, I went back into like the author area, and I picked up all 3 of their books. And I found out, again, during that panel, that she had ARC applications open for book 2. But you needed to have read book 1.
Oh, no.
And I binge read that thing in like 2 days so that I could get...
Fortunately, you can read 2.8 pages a minute, so...
So I binge read the fuck out of that book because I was so determined to get on her ARC applications for book 2.
And remind me, what's an ARC?
So it's like an early reader edition that it's not going to be a physical copy in my case. It's usually digital, and you read the book in return and get it early in return for an honest review.
Okay,
that's it. So like I published my review on Goodreads, and when Amazon released the book, you can publish it on Amazon.
Okay.
Because Amazon only lets you publish reviews when the book comes out.
That's fair.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that's my number 3, because just the series is really good, and it's a little bit... Some of the tropes I do feel are a little overused, but not necessarily a bad way.
Okay.
So I did enjoy it a lot, because I did think... I love the world building. I think it's my favorite part of it. It's very magical.
We love a good world building.
And the maps are cool. Shit.
Love a good map.
And now there's 2 maps because book 2 introduces a new thing.
Ooh.
So now I have 2 maps. It was so cool. And I ordered a paperback edition of the second book since I didn't have a physical copy.
Yes.
And I had to finish my shelf trophies.
Exactly.
So I just got that in the mail the other day.
Oh, how fun.
And I got the map. I got one of the maps.
So if it's a digital copy of a map or of a book, do you have a digital copy of a map? Because I find myself flipping back to the maps to be like, where the hell are we?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, there's a digital copy of the map as well.
Gotcha.
So
cool.
Yeah.
I have my 2.
Okay.
They are both from the same author because she's incredible.
Okay.
I am probably saying her last name wrong, but it's Tamsin Muir.
Okay.
I think is how you say it.
Okay.
She's a relatively new author. She has 1 series published, and it's the Locked Tomb series, which starts with Gideon the Ninth. And
okay, you mentioned this one. Yeah.
I call it my lesbian necromancer book. There is, as far as how far I've gotten, which I've only gotten halfway through Nona the Ninth, which is the last one that's come out. There's no established relationship, but
we know.
But it's just the feeling.
That gut feeling.
That gut feeling. It's fantastic. It is absolutely cracked in the best way.
I love that.
Yeah, it's an adult fiction, so it's not even classified as like romance fiction or anything. But again, it's that really good world building. It's sci-fi.
Okay.
Which is new, but it's like sci-fi combined with magic in the kind of way of alchemy, kind of, where you have math to create magic.
Sounds cool to me.
It's super freaking cool. Really cool premise with like a post-apocalyptic world. They all live on a different planet, so there's 9 houses, 9 planets.
Okay.
And there's 1 god, except God's an actual person. So
wild.
Okay. Yeah. And they're all necromancers, so they each have different necromantic powers.
Okay.
Where one's bone, one's skin, one's whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, highly recommend it because it's funny, but it's also really incredibly well written.
Okay.
And the other one was, I believe, her debut book. So far, I've only really found it on audiobook, which is fine. It's Princess Floralinda.
Okay.
So, fantasy concept, Princess in the Tower.
Love it.
Nobody comes to rescue her.
Oh no!
Because the witch got tired of everybody winning her tower and stealing her princesses, and so she made the hardest level the first level of the tower, so all the people kept dying.
Oh jeez.
So she hasn't been rescued yet, and she's tired of it, and so she decides she's gonna rescue herself.
Fun.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. I don't know, are we doing spoilers?
Sure. I mean, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. She
away now.
becomes the monster.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
She does?
She does. At the end, she beats the tower, and the witch comes back and is like, who killed my tower? And it's just Princess Floralinda looking like an absolute maniac.
I love it.
With her little spiderweb fairy.
I love it.
It's fantastic. So, highly recommend that one.
Okay.
So, 2 from Tamsin Muir.
Nice. Okay. Solid. I kind of want to read the Princess. How is it?
Floralinda.
Floralinda.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a New Zealand author. So
Okay.
it has a lot of, like, New Zealand word references that I had to look up some stuff.
Fair enough.
Like, what they call pancakes is totally different than what we call pancakes.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay. Let's see. My next one, which is one that I think you DNF'd.
Probably.
From Blood and Ash.
Yep.
I am a whore for a good, just trashy romance,
Just
book.
eats that shit up.
I eat it up. Oh god. I am a book raccoon. I don't care if I'm eating garbage. Which I think, honestly, from a writing perspective, I don't think it's like a garbage read. If I'm being like genuine with my opinion on it. But I like From Blood and Ash. I know it's a controversial opinion to like From Blood and Ash better than its prequel series, Flesh and Fire.
Okay.
But I like From Blood and Ash better than the prequel series.
Yeah.
Which, if you didn't like From Blood and Ash, you'll probably like the prequels. Because most people who don't like Blood and Ash prefer the prequel.
Okay.
I started with From Blood and Ash and fell in love with it. And then binge read the first 5 books in the recommended reading order while I was out from surgery.
Oh, well, what else are you going to do?
I had 5 days to do nothing but read, and I read a book a day.
I mean, love that for you.
So I've read pretty much all of the Blood and Ash series, minus like the one that's about to come out this year in June. And then the book series, or the book that's from...
This year, 2025.
This
Happy
year.
New Year.
I know, right? This year, 2025. Woo! The only other one I haven't read that's technically from Blood and Ash is... One of the books is supposed to be from the main male's perspective.
Oh.
It's the first book from the main male's perspective. So I haven't read that one either. Because I'm trying to be good and read it in the recommended reading order.
Okay.
Which now that means I have to read the prequel series, which I did not fully enjoy the first book.
So you're going to reread the entire series?
No. I'm
Okay.
very good. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I've read already the Blood and Ash part, which in that part included, basically it was, English. Basically, the recommended reading order is like the majority, if not all, of the Blood and Ash series, but like in between 2 books, it's recommended that you read the first Flesh and Fire book.
Okay.
And now I have to read from book 2 on. Basically, from here on out, I should finish the rest of the series.
Okay.
Like the prequel series and then the other stuff.
Yes.
So I got to. But I wasn't a huge fan of the main female character or of the main male character.
There is no redeeming character is what I'm
Like,
hearing.
No, there are. Like, it's not good. But to me, it felt like a rehash of the main characters from Blood and Ash.
Oh, okay.
And because I really like Poppy and Castile in Blood and Ash, it's hard to transfer over to like like Serafina and Nick.
Okay.
Like it's hard. I think it's similar to how people felt like from going from Akatar to suddenly you're now Nesta's point of view.
Oh, okay.
It's that similar shift.
Yeah.
That if you kind of already knew the characters, I think that shift helps.
Mm-hmm.
But because Serafina and Nick are only like briefly mentioned or not mentioned at all,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to do that shift when you're like thinking it's supposed to be the same series.
Yeah.
So I think I just have to get it out of my head that it's the same series. It's like it's the same world, not the same series.
Yes.
And they're connected, but not like,
Yeah.
word for word or like
They're not even in the
plot for
same
plot.
century.
Yeah. Kind of, I think, is my understanding. I don't know.
If it's a prequel, it can't.
Yeah, but they're connected. Like, I think the stories are meant to meet.
Okay.
Because the bad guy, my understanding, right? Spoilers. Big spoilers, I guess. The bad guy of Flesh and Fire,
Yeah.
I think is meant to be the final boss of Blood and Ash.
Okay.
Because that's how the last Blood and Ash book set it up.
Gotcha. I mean, if you go into it from that perspective, like not even worrying about Serafina and Nick and just worrying about who's the bad guy.
Yeah.
That
So getting to know the bad guy, that's I think maybe that's how I'll look at it.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I just felt like Serafina was a rehashing of Poppy, and Nick was a rehashing of Castile.
Like Jennifer Armentrout writes one character.
Yeah.
No offense, but
but like, and that might be a me problem and not a writing problem. Might be because I'm like my brain is purposely connecting the two characters when I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But then again, some stuff that's spoilers that I don't fully understand, so I'm not going to bring it up. I might be making that brain connection because, as we've talked about, I see certain plot points really early on. Yeah. I call shit really early on. So, it's hard.
Okay.
It's hard.
We'll find out.
Yes.
Keep us updated.
I will.
I will not read them.
Honestly, it might end up later. One of the later episodes might be
probably
Blood and Ash and Flesh and Fire. Yeah. That might be one of the ones we discuss.
I hope so, because I need to know what happens. I'm not reading them. So.
Though the audiobook just came out, the graphic audio for Blood and Ash just came out.
See, I don't like the premise.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. Fair enough.
Yes.
All right. Okay, what's your next one?
So this is also a newer one. And it's mostly just because it is the book that I was actually able to read all the way through without stopping, like everything like that, since the Tamsin Muir books came out. Okay. So like I was reading those books and then 3 years passed and I didn't read a single book. So When the Moon Hatched was the one that got me back into reading. Yep. Which is why we're here.
Yep. And
just because the world building is so wonderful and it was really refreshing to have a new world that we don't use the same features and flora and fauna from our world. Like this person built a whole new universe. Yeah. And a whole new religion system, and just the premise is so cool. I know you have your opinions. We're going to talk about it in the next episode. But
yep. I know. Like, I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to keep me and myself and my thoughts until episode 2.
Yes, and then you can give them. But so that one is the next one, just because it got me back into reading.
And it is a very interesting book.
I love the lyrical writing.
Yes, I can get behind that. Like I said, I'll keep most of my opinions up to myself on this one particularly. Yeah. Because it's something we've both read, and that is literally the main topic for episode 2 of this podcast. Yeah. So we will move on to, I guess, my final.
Yeah, I think we're at 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah. We both read this one.
Oh.
Demon Days and Vampire Nights.
God.
By K.F. Breene. Yes. That series. It was so good.
I mean, same. That's going to be my last one, too. So. Just because it's so nonsensically funny.
Yes, and maybe we should hold ourselves back on talking about it, because that might need to be an episode
I think it will have to be.
That we might have to do a back-to-back on one of them.
That's fine.
Because we're going to save it. But Demon Days, Vampire Nights series by K.F. Breene.
Iconic.
100% recommend. So good, so funny. It's an urban fantasy. I think I'm pretty safe in saying that.
Which is so rare nowadays.
Yes. Or I don't think it's necessarily rare. I think it's rare for them to be good.
That's true.
I think there are plenty of urban fantasies out there, but I think most of them are boring as shit.
I haven't come across any. Mm-hmm. So maybe I just haven't been looking. I mean, that's possible, but...
Yeah. Like, I couldn't name it... I can't really name anything other than this off the top of my head. But I think one of the things that I will add here, and then can save the rest for another episode, or you can talk more about it.
No.
But, like, how can I put this? It's urban fantasy, and half the reason I don't like urban fantasy in general, like Twilight, for example, and stuff like that...
Is that an urban fantasy?
It is urban fantasy! Because I don't like them typically because it's almost too modern. Like, it's too, like, it feels too set in the real world.
Okay.
And I read books for the escapism of it all.
That's fair. Yeah.
But I think one of the things that K.F. Breene did brilliantly is to make it urban fantasy, and it's very clear it's taking place in the modern world.
Yes.
But it still felt fantastical.
She doesn't really talk at all about the modern world.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Or she does, but she blends it so well with her fantasy world that it's almost like, oh, cool.
And it's funny as shit.
Oh, God. Please talk about that, because it is.
It is so funny. Just from the character creation to the character interactions, each character is unique, which is also very hard to find nowadays, where you have, at least in the books that I've come across, where you have such well-defined and developed individualism in characters, where it's not like, oh, that person kind of has that quality, but each of these are funny in their own rights, and they build on each other. Like, you have the chaotic main character who accidentally makes the secondary main female character chaotic and takes her from being baby chaos to big chaos.
Oh, yes.
And it's just fantastic.
Yeah. And I think she also writes a empowered female character very well without it feeling like a every woman, as I've been calling a lot of these recent fantasy books.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I could step in and want to be the main females.
She's a person.
Like, she's a person. I'm like, oh, so my go-to with fantasy books is if I ship the two, like, intended characters, like, if I ship the main female with the main male, like, on purpose, like, I'm just like, oh my God, they belong together. That's how I know it's a good romance. Because half my problem with, like, I'll say it here, Fourth Wing, is that I don't like Violet all that much.
No.
She feels like an every woman. Then again, I have short girl syndrome, like Violet kind of does.
I have opinions on opinions on opinions
we'll
about
get there,
Fourth Wing.
Fourth Wing is episode 4. Yeah. But, like, for Violet, like, I'm like, step aside, Violet, I'll take Xaden. Yeah. Like, even to a certain extent, like, I've started to feel that way. Now that I'm distancing myself from ACOTAR, I'm starting to feel that way about Rhys and Feyre, too. Like, I think I still stand by I do ship it, but, like, at the same time, I'm like, I could step in.
The relationship wasn't... Because the characters aren't people. They don't feel like people. They don't have the flaws and the personalities and the... I feel like she tried.
Yes,
she tried.
I agree.
It just was not as well executed when you put it up to something like... Even the title feels ridiculous to say Demon Days, Vampire Nights.
Yes.
But, like, you would think this is, like, a crack fiction book, but it's actually fantastic.
Exactly. But, and, like, we'll say, like, Reagan and Darius, like, I would die for them to be together.
Right.
Like, end of the, like, Emery and Penny, die for them to be together. Yes. Even, Charity and, what's his face? Fuck.
Werewolf Boy.
Werewolf Boy, who I'm now gonna have to go back and remember his fucking name. I would die for them to be together. Yeah. Now, we can save that talk for those books for later, but, like, all of the main couples, I'm like, yes, that's who I want to be together.
We'll leave it as there is a were-yeti character. Like a werewolf, but he turns into a yeti. And that's all you need to know about
That is all you need to know. There is a were-yeti. There is a were-yeti.
Fantastic.
Okay. So we both have the same number 5. That's cool. Awesome. Next up is no-goes. Books, series, authors, whoever it is, that you will not read under any circumstances. I have 2. That's
You
it.
go first, because I don't know.
I have... Okay. I'm going to share my hottest of hot takes.
Okay.
Because I know if anyone actually bothers to listen to this and they listen to this particular part, I will get shit for it.
Okay.
Zodiac Academy. I will die on that fucking hill. I am not reading that shit. Nope, not happening. I'm sure some of the plot lines are fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure some of the world building is beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of it is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I went in, like, if I could try and go into it with my little brain of, like, I'm not expecting a masterpiece, I'm just expecting some fun. That's how I went into ACOTAR.
Sure.
Right? That's how I went into Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
Now, were there some really good writing bits in those and, like, some really good character developments in those?
Debatable.
Yes! No, there were.
Debatable.
Okay, that's for another topic then. But, like, could I go into it that way? Yes. But did I have to stop at chapter, like, maybe 3 or 4?
Mm-hmm.
Because the very beginning is one of the main males who is a love interest. I Googled it to make sure I wasn't wrong, because I felt it in my bones.
Yeah.
One of the main males, who is apparently a teacher. He is a teacher for the school these girls are about to go to.
A little Pretty Little Liars action.
A little bit, yeah. Comes in, is like a siren of some kind or something. Basically, has like a magical voice that can make people like do or not do things.
Zayden's voice actor. Go on.
Yes. Not in that way though. But like, has like a magical voice that basically like made them like, they were acting like fools apparently, and he was like, stop or sit down or whatever, and they were forced to listen, whatever.
Okay.
He's a teacher. He did that to 2 of his students, and then one of them goes on to be his love interest. And I wanted to gag.
Did he command them to...
Uh-huh.
It was an CNC.
A little bit. It felt a little CNC. It felt very... He, like, commanded them to, like, sit down. I don't think he commanded there's anything of, like, forcing her to be with him.
Okay.
But, like, at the same time, I'm like...
Who knows?
Who knows? I haven't read the books. But, like, at the same time, I'm like, the moment he came in as a teacher and coerced 2 18-year-olds to sit down or to do anything, I gagged. And I could not do it. And then I later find out it's like it's a bully romance, and like apparently some really fucked up shit happens in the book, and they end up together, and I'm like, not necessarily the fucked up shit happens from the teacher, I don't know.
Okay.
But I've heard that the one of the main romances, some fucked up shit happens, and I'm like, no. Gross, no. I can't do it. I can't. There's too much. It feels too coerced.
Okay.
For me to feel comfortable reading it.
Power dynamics.
Yeah, the power dynamics are too icky.
Yeah.
Gives me the ick.
I mean, hey. It sounds like it.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, it's the kind of series that normally, like the length of it, I would gobble up.
Right.
Because it's like all based on the zodiac signs. Which is cool. It's like 12 books, which, you know me, I love a good series.
A little gobble gobble.
Little gobble gobble. No. I couldn't make it past the first 5 chapters.
That's pretty bad.
Like, I couldn't. Normally I can, you know me, I can read anything. I can well and truly just, turn off my brain, have a little do fun. No, I couldn't do it. Could not do it.
So Zodiac Academy is a no-go.
Never.
Okay.
You could not pay me.
You could pay you.
You could pay You could pay me, but you would have to pay me a lot of money to read Zodiac Academy.
Would you?
So.
Would you have to pay you a lot?
Yes.
Okay.
No, actually, that is, like, very much so, like, a hard line for me. It's definitely a no-go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
So what was your second one?
The second one is actually an author.
Okay.
And it's not that I've read any of her books. I've just heard too many things that I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Colleen Hoover.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Colleen Hoover.
I've heard too much about, like, romanticized abuse for me to be like, yes, I'll read it.
I saw something on Instagram recently that was like somebody giving one of her books to their dog as a chew toy.
That's awful. It's hilarious, but that's awful. Oh, jeez.
So they felt the same way, is what I'm saying. I don't even know who it was. It just came up on the algorithm.
Yikes.
For me,
You can also say tropes. Let's add in that. You can also say a no-go trope.
Okay.
Something that would make you DNF a book.
Oh.
Oh, you told one earlier. You should share that.
What did I say?
We were talking about Onyx Storm if Violet says one more.
Oh, she says, okay. Just the repetitive.
Because I think the trope itself is a no-go, I think, for you.
Yeah. How would I even word it?
I mean, it's miscommunication.
It's kind of a miscommunication.
But, like, severe miscommunication. Purposeful miscommunication?
Almost a purposeful miscommunication. Where it's, like, a repeated theme of something. Where it's, like, the example, we'll talk about it later, but the example is with Violet from the
Imperium series.
Yeah, the Imperium series. Thank you. With just her repeated, I can't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And just constantly bringing up things. Just either acknowledge that you have a problem and move on from it and acknowledge the growth from it. But don't keep saying, I can't do this, or I can't do this, or accusatory kind of situation.
That's fair. I think I glossed over it because I was more like Dwagon. That's a like, I probably will end up doing... No, I don't have enough time to do a reread of Iron Flame and Fourth Wing at this point.
Right.
I mean, I could. I have way too many books on my TBR to do that, so I'm not going to.
Okay, that's fair.
But I'll pay more attention to it when I read Onyx Storm when it comes out.
Hopefully she's moved past it. Because if... That was the thing. If Onyx Storm has one line of Violet's poor connective tissue or Xaden's lack of communication, I'm gonna lose. I won't finish it. I'll DNF it. One mention.
That's fair. That is fair. Okay. Anything? What else is on your list?
So this is not like a... I thought my no-go would be dark romance.
Okay.
And and then I listened to Lights Out and I cried. So therefore,
that can't be on there anymore.
And then I accidentally got 3 people to read Lights Out?
Yeah. Several of us.
Several people to read it.
Including me. I'm about halfway through it.
Yeah. We'll find out what she thinks.
It's mostly because I'm doing an audiobook and I don't read as fast as I do an audiobook.
Yeah, that's fair. The School of Skyborn series, School of Combat. Apparently it is for lovers of Sarah J. Maas, Holly Black, and Rebecca Yarros. I have no fucking idea what's going on in this book.
That's fair. And you just reminded me of another one that's a no-go for me.
It feels... I don't even know if it's... I probably will not finish the series. I'm listening to it on audiobook. But it's kind of like your dislike with the romance. Whereas, like, if I don't feel as though the romance is developed, I don't understand it. I'm halfway through this book and I don't have a plot line and I don't have a character line. She's supposed to be in love with 2 different people, but she's had exactly 1.5 interactions with them.
Yikes.
So... There's no coherency.
Yikes. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, that's what I get from it. So that one's going to be a no-go for me.
I mean, speaking of Holly Black, the Cruel Prince series, I think is becoming... it's one of the few books I've ever DNF'd.
Oh.
I've never DNF'd a book before until then.
Zodiac Academy.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But I don't count it because I made it... Zodiac Academy, I read... Like I said, like maybe 5 chapters. Maybe. I think that's me being generous. With Cruel Prince, I read like almost halfway through the book. I was over halfway through the book.
You gave it a fair shot.
I gave it a very fair shot. Zodiac Academy, I don't count as reading it because I didn't read it.
You did an appetizer.
I sampled it.
Yeah.
So, but Cruel Prince, not even because it's bad. I think if I was younger, I'd like it a lot more.
Okay, that's fair.
I think it definitely is more on the young adult.
You need a not fully developed prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yes. And it's not to say that it's a bad book, because there's clearly a lot of fans of it. And I do think some of the plot lines are very interesting, and I think as a young adult novel, it has some complexities in there that are interesting. But as a 20-something, I cannot finish the book, I don't think.
Yeah.
That said, though, it is on my bookshelf, and I'm doing my alphabetical order by author reading right now.
Okay.
So who knows? I might decide to go back and read it when
See
I
if
get there.
it when you get to the bees.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to give it another shot.
Exactly. But I have 2 full Jennifer Armentrout series to get through before that, so we'll find out.
Okay, yeah. Because it
I
might be a second or 2.
Yeah, because I have Flesh and Fire to fully get through, and then I have her Covenant series to fully get through.
Okay.
Which is YA, so who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
I'll give it more of a shot
Maybe.
after reading that, so who knows?
Yeah. And if people want to follow your progress on your TBR, you have a place to do that, don't you?
Yes, I have my Instagram, Arcane Book Nest, because I like magic way too much to not have that be a part of my...
As it should be.
which is, I think we're going to post the link for this episode on there too.
Cool.
I'm going to go ahead and make that a
like
little link. And it'll be on my website too.
You have a website.
I have a website, if you
Go
can believe it.
see her website.
What is the full title of my website? I don't even remember. I think it's arcadia.wix.com/arcanebooknest, something like that. Oh gosh. This is what happens. I should have things pulled up if I'm going to plug it. Let's see. Yeah, it's arcadiareads.wixsite.com/arcane-book-nest. Because I'm not going to pay for a domain. Yeah, link will be somewhere.
In the description.
Link in the description below.
Yes, exactly.
Where I write my full-length book reviews.
You can get all of the thoughts.
Yeah. And I think I'm
Not
THOTS,
but like actual thoughts.
Yeah, like the full thoughts. Which I think I'm also going to post this podcast there too. Okay. Because the nice little host that we're using has a little player link thing I can embed.
Perfect, yeah.
So we're going to embed this there too. So
yeah.
Who knows? If you're on the website listening to this.
You get a one-stop shop.
Exactly.
So, and next week we will be talking about When the Moon Hatched.
Yes, we are talking about When the Moon Hatched. We'll play a couple games first, some little bookish games.
Yes, some themes.
And then talk about When the Moon Hatched. Get maybe some really hot takes about that.
Probably some hot takes.
There will be some hot takes. And the little special thing that will make you want to stick around for the full episode is we have a whole corner where we are going to essentially shit talk books.
Yes.
Popular books on Book Talk usually.
Yes.
Book Talk, Bookstagram.
Trash Talk Corner.
Trash Talk Corner, and we are talking about book 1 of ACOTAR, which might, well and truly knowing us, turn into shit talking the whole series.
It could possibly. They're very similar.
So, yeah, that's it.
And it'll be a little more cohesively laid out we will have a step 1, 2, and 3.
We say that and then watch it not be that.
I love a yap. I love a yap.
This is for fun. This is for us to have a good time talking about books, and hopefully, if anyone actually decides to listen to this, you guys can comment, you can share, you can yap with us.
Yes.
You know, if we get good.
Yeah, leave some comments, some pointers.
Yeah. Lord knows, we're probably going to need it.
That's all right. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And
till next time.
Bye.